claim, Ishmael was the only son, so he must be the one Abraham was told to sacrifice. Truth. It was Isaac, and here's the iron proof. 1. The Bible clearly says it was Isaac. Genesis 22 verse 2. Then God said, "Take your son, your only son, Isaac, whom you love, and go to the region of Moriah. Sacrifice him there as a burnt offering." It says, only son Isaac, whom you love. But wasn't Ishmael born before Isaac? Yes, but Ishmael was not the promised child. Ishmael was born through Hagar, a slave woman. God made it clear the covenant would come through Sarah's son Isaac. Genesis 17 verse 19. Your wife Sarah will bear you a son, and you will call him Isaac. I will establish my covenant with him. So when God says your only son, he means the only son of the promise, the one God counts as the true heir. 2 historical facts: Jews and Christians always said Isaac. This story was written over 1,000 years before Islam began. The Torah used by Jews, the Old Testament used by Christians, even early church fathers, all say Isaac. No one in history ever believed it was Ishmael until Islam came 600 years after Christ. Why does the Quran change the story 600 years later with no proof or eyewitnesses? 3. The Quran doesn't even name the son. Surah 37, verses 102 to 107, story of the sacrifice, never says Ishmael, just says a son. That means Muhammad assumed it was Ishmael, or it was later interpreted that way to boost Arab identity. Why? Because Muhammad claimed to be a descendant of Ishmael, so making Ishmael the sacrifice would make his bloodline look more blessed. 4. Even Islamic sources admit it was Isaac. Some early Islamic scholars and hadiths actually say it was Isaac. Al-Tabari, one of Islam's greatest historians, reported that early Muslims were divided on whether it was Isaac or Ishmael. Many early Islamic traditions said Isaac. So Muslims today are arguing a position their own early scholars disagreed with. If God told Abraham to sacrifice his only son, and the Bible written over 1,000 years earlier says that's Isaac, and the Quran doesn't name the son, why would I believe a 600-year later version that contradicts history just to promote Muhammad's bloodline? Isaac points to Jesus. Isaac carried the wood for his sacrifice. Genesis 22 verse 6. Jesus carried the cross. Isaac was the only son of the promise. Jesus is the only begotten Son of God. God provided a ram in Isaac's place. God provided Jesus in our place. Where is the ram in Islam?